Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got another review for you, right? This is Image Comics. My girl, Mirka Adolfo's Sweet Paprika number 4. Um, my boy, McKinley Richard, was nice enough to send me this in the AOK, and it was like the first read that came out of that pack, right? I love this comic, and again, it did not fail. This was actually a tie for my read of the week, and honestly, it is my read of the week. But Hell Cop was right there. Those were my two best reads of the week, but there were a lot of good reads, and I still have a lot more to review. Um, but let's get into who's, what's, where's. Who did this comic. So we got Mirka Adolfo, of course, who did the writing and art. Colors is Simon Tessuto. Letters is Fabio, Amelia. Um, and currently, this book in a nutshell is a rom-com. It's a romantic comedy kind of, and it's set up for both men and women. It's not oriented towards men. It's both. It's really nice. I could definitely see a woman reading this and having a good time, just like any man can. Mirka Adolfo has done really well at pandering to both categories of the demographic. But technically, this whole book is about Paprika breaking out of her shell. She is kind of a recluse. She is a CEO of a huge media company. It's a publishing company in hell, or the afterlife. They never refer to it as hell or heaven. It's kind of a mix of both, because in this world, heaven, demons and angels interact with each other, and there's no difference. It's more like an aesthetic. So if you're caught up on, hey, she's got a tail or some horns, or he's got some wings, it's just an aesthetic. Just think of it as like cosplay, because they really don't go into any side of the heaven, hell, or demons or angels thing. Because they interact. Of course, that they're falling in love with each other. But the whole book is about, she's a CEO. She works. She's a career woman, and inside her brain, she doesn't like being alone, and she wants to find that other, but she also wants to have fun and be sexy. But she has a lot of hang-ups and reasons for this, and one of the big ones is her dad. And her dad has kind of implanted, those thoughts as she was growing up, that, you couldn't wear certain things, or it was impure, or you had to be more ladylike. So a lot of this comic is her breaking out of that mold. But it's like a twofold story, because then we got Mr. Dill Pickle over here, and yes, that's his name. But Dill, he's the opposite, where he's a ladies' man. He gets all the women he can. He has tons of sex, but there's no substance behind it. He wants a relationship, and none of the ladies that he messes with wants to have a relationship. Currently, like the last issue, Sweet Paprika got really drunk, and she came home, and Dill ended up helping her home, and then she tried to, make advances and tried to sleep with Dill, and like a gentleman, he was like, no, I can't do this like this, I would love to, but not, with you drunk and everything. And that's where this issue starts off. It kind of starts off in this parking garage, and Paprika is, in the last issue, she got a notice that someone had some blackmail evidence on her dad. Her dad is a Supreme Court judge, and supposedly he had like lewd footage, which he's showing here, of her dad. Paprika actually goes there to pay off this guy. No questions asked, and then the guy keeps talking, and then he kind of keeps talking about her. Like, at first it's all her dad and what he can do to destroy the dad, but then he starts bringing Paprika into it, like, oh, this could mess you up too. And as you can see, Paprika unleashes all hell on this dude, and he quickly finds out that he made a mistake in the blackmail category altogether, because not only is his dad has many connections to the town, so does Paprika, being as high up as she is. So she kind of states, like, I was going to pay you, and now I'm not going to pay you. You can keep that damn thing, the blackmail evidence, and if you leak it anywhere, you're going to be working at like a McDonald's for the rest of your life, kind of thing. They show another scene with it is the financial backer and the director of the film that they're trying to make out of Paprika's new book that she has published recently, and it is getting bigger in the world, and they want to make a movie out of it. So they do have these two individuals that are trying to make the movie, and they've recently, um, through business deals, been dealing with Paprika and her company. We do find out that one of them is Paprika's first love and ex-boyfriend, and the other one, Zed, would be the guy that she has a crush on. He is the more handsome devil right here, I love the pun. We do find out that Zed is kind of like, I'm bad with names, so if that's not his name, but he's going to be Zed for now. But Zed is, he had actually had a date with Paprika. She got real nervous and ended up taking off. And, he's kind of wanting to, get closer to Paprika. He's showing signs that he kind of wants that relationship. On the other end, we show Dill, and after the night previously, he's actually going to check on Paprika. He has not heard about her and stuff, and he does do deliveries to her building, and he does go check on her. At the moment, she's at the phone, and she kind of sees Dill and remembers everything that happens, and she gets real nervous and hides, and Dill takes it as like she does remember, and she doesn't want to talk to him kind of thing, and that's not really what she's doing. She was just on the phone having an immense business conversation. And then kind of seeing Dill get upset, she gets upset that he got upset, and one of her, it is her main secretary, and she kind of sees her and feels bad for her and invites her out to lunch, it being lunchtime, and Paprika, as the comic goes, lunchtime is one of her biggest things. It's like one of her peaceful moment times kind of thing. But her friend does take her out, and it ends up being like more of a mistake than, for the friend and the friend's wife. But they both kind of find Paprika to be a little weird and recluse, and they're trying to break her out of the shell. They're also trying to make her feel a lot comfortable, and Paprika's like, look, I understand that y'all are trying to do this, and I'm sorry that y'all have to deal with this. And, but it's like, oh, I can't, she kind of lays out this line, and the friends are like, look, you might be mean, and you're her boss, and this and that, but there's things you need to understand and stuff, and they kind of lay it out with she needs to learn who she is and what she wants in life, and to be honest with herself and stop trying to please other people like her dad or stuff like that. And they kind of tell her out, they kind of tell her to take care of herself, and she's never going to move past that point if she can't learn to do that. So they do show that her taking care of herself, she goes out shopping, and she has a wonderful time picking out new outfits, and she kind of starts thinking about Zed. He does call her and wants to hook up, telling him that they have a lunch engagement coming up soon that is business related, but he would like it to be more on the personal side, and she kind of agrees with it, and in that concept, when she's buying different clothes, she ends up setting her size on a sexy outfit, which normally her dad would have been like, no, you can't wear that, that's smutty, and so now she's kind of taking her friend's suggestions, and she gets a little more sexified and glamored up, right? So she's still in the dressing room, she's trying things on, and she's thinking about Zed and the whole occasion. That's everything. All this is in her mind. It's one of the greatest things about this book. She has wild fantasies, but she doesn't really live out her fantasies. And in this book, she's trying to be a little more because she's worried about Zed, and she doesn't want to disappoint Zed if they ever do sleep together, kind of thing. So she kind of has the concept, I need to practice a little more before that happens. And so she ends up seeing a guy in the kind of near the dressing area, and she kind of gives a wink at him and sees that he smiles, and he tried, she's like, hey, come over here, and brings him into the dressing room, and they do start making out and stuff like that, and she's picturing Zed the whole time, and it never gets to the sex part because the guy that she ends up messing with ends up being just a jerk, he doesn't care about Paprika, he's all about himself. He actually gets all stuck up on his wang for about 10 minutes, and he forgets about Paprika, so Paprika's like, nope, I'm out of here, It wasn't for her. They do show her, heading home after this long day, and disappointment with the jerk, and she's still thinking about Zed and stuff, and she wants to, she finally wants to take that making the step or the leap, as you would say. They do show Dill, and Dill is with his dad, Mr. Pickle, and Mr. Pickle's kind of telling Dill some advice and stuff, and as the book goes, Dill's never listening to his dad, and he's like, "Oh, thanks for the advice," and he does the complete opposite, and he takes off. But he literally goes to see Paprika, and she has just made it home, and like as he kind of like knocks on the door and stuff, like Paprika's like, "Oh my God, I was just thinking about you. I need you so bad. Come on in." And she was like, "Okay, I need to ask you something," and they do show that there, it gets real romantic real close, but she stops her because she has like a PowerPoint meeting that she throws on with the projector and everything, and she kind of lays out what she wants from Dill, and she basically wants to set up a friends with benefit type of situation. It's more like a work with benefit kind of thing, but she wants to use Dill to practice for Zed, and she explains all this to Dill and lays out all the, that there's going to be no kissing, there's going to be no cuddling, there's going to be no secrecy, the availability has to be there, no weekends, and she does state no dogs alive, and we do know that Dill always has his little dog with him, and so he does fight her on that, and she does make an exception. But overall, through everything said and done, Dill is actually quite on board with it. He's like, yes, and they kind of show them getting started, and Paprika is kind of like still a little nervous, and she's like, well, where do we start, kind of thing, and Dill's like, well, we're going to start at the extreme and work our way around to everything else, and he kind of goes downstairs, and at first, she's like, oh, this is going to be boring, and but we already see that Paprika, not only that Dill knows what he's doing, but this is really the first time Paprika's been actually, messed with someone that wants to mess with her, kind of thing. So it kind of sees that Paprika might already in this first incident be falling a little harder for Dill, and maybe forgetting a little bit about Zed, kind of thing. But that's where the issue leaves off in a climactic form, right? But yeah, another great issue. I mean, the laughs are there, the story's there, the art is definitely there. It's one of the best parts of this book. But man, I can't hype up this book enough, and I know it's not for everybody, but I enjoy what she's doing. Honestly, it's some of the most intelligent writing I've read recently. It's really engaging, and it's thoughtful. But hey, that's my review. I will see y'all in a little bit. I'm trying to knock out all this as I go. I will see y'all later. Bah!